Today we will discuss the Zatca Phase-2 implementation, that is basically E-Invoicing requirement for Saudi Arabia. So we will do a session how we are doing it on ERPNext and some general things about Phase-2 implementation. So I'll directly go to here. There are Zatca settings and all on ERPNext. I'll show you each of that. But before that, I'll give you some concept that how we need to do. Okay, I'll just pull up the screen. So here I put the steps. So these steps we need to follow. Now before that, I'll just briefly I'll tell you the rollout phases. This is very important. If you are a taxpayer in Saudi Arabia, it's very important. So I'll just say there was phase 1. It has been since long time that phase 1 implementation. There is you can see it's automatically come with the regional ERPNext, and you can get it from here on KSA VAT. It's on our ERPGulf Git. You can download and implement, or you can ask us to implement. So it is already there. It's called Saudi VAT module. So all the taxpayers have already implemented phase 1. So there is no more discussion. It's now it's about phase 2. So the phase 2 is, so let's go to they announce it in waves. So it started in 1st of January 2023, and it was first initially came for 3 billion business, then it came to 500 million, then 250 million, then 150 million. So now currently it's just over for 500 million in a year business. That is, they calculate 2021. They calculated, now they're calculating you exceed or equal to 250 million in either in 2021 or in 2022. If you are in that revenue, it's not about tax, it's a taxable revenue. Just remember that it's not about the total tax you are paying, it's a taxable revenue that you are getting. If that exceeds 250 million, then you are supposed to do it now, because that time frame, that window will be closed on 31st January 2024. Okay. Now after that, it will be for 150 million, and that should be finished before 2024. Again, I am saying it's for taxable revenue, and the taxable revenue of 2021 or 2022, not the current year, not 2023. It is 2021 and 2022. And if you are exceeding or equal to, of course, because 100 million, then you have to finish the implementation before 31st March, and it goes on for 70 million. It is on 30, and 50 million, it's on May 30, 1st May, and 40 million, it's for 30 June. And it will go, now they have announced 30 million, that is before from 1st June to 30 September. So remaining waves will be announced pretty soon, and if you are still not reached this revenue, so you will be announced, and this year there will be another announcement this year. So most probably you will also be included in phase 2 in 2024 itself. So that is about the announcement that Zatca is making, and Zatca announcement will come again. So if you are in any of this, you should be compliant, and all the testing, everything has to be done. And we have simulation portal. Simulation portal is for testing everything and getting the reports and all. So it's better you go for simulation portal now. So this is the simulation portal. The production portal and simulation portal are both there. And the process. Now I will come to the process. The process it's like this. So first, what you need to do to enroll it first, you need to go to the Zatca Pathura portal that I just shown you here. So log into this page with your tax ID and the password if you are not implemented. Otherwise, you have to get it first. And then most business already has this portal account. So you go there, and at the time you log in, you can select either simulation. There's a spelling error. That's simulation. It's simulation actually, and there is production. There are actually three types. One, developer portal, then simulation portal, then production portal. Okay. So for developer portal, you need not log in at all. It's for us, for the developers. We are doing it. For actual business, you don't need to be in developer portal at any point of time. And the simulation, of course, because simulation portal, you can do everything that is production unit doing, production portal doing, everything, including creating OTP, creating CSR, submitting invoice, getting the calculation, everything you can do it on simulation, everything. Then once everything set, then you can go for the production, and the production is the actual one. There is the tax is calculated. The amount you are submitting will go there. In the production. In simulation, you can submit as many invoices, as many times you want for testing. It's not calculated anywhere. So first, anyway, you need to do it with simulation. So that's one thing. So you either go to, so this portal has two, one is simulation and one is production. So in our software also, you can see for the testing phase, I'll explain this step. So on the testing, you can see here, there is simulation available. There is sandbox. It's actually development, not development, sandbox. Sandbox available, simulation available, and production is available. So to ready everything, you need to do simulation, then the production. So that's on our screen. Now, then you need to get an OTP. Once you reach inside either simulation or production, you can create OTP. You can create up to 100 OTPs same time. For each service, you can create up to 100 OTP at a time. You can create more, but at a time you can create 100 OTPs. So the case is if you have multiple servers in Riyadh, Jeddah, Dammam and all, and you are same company, you are using same portal. So if you want to send it e-invoicing from multiple servers, multiple cloud servers and all, you need multiple OTPs. So normally most of the company has 3 servers, one in Dammam, Riyadh or Jeddah. Some has only one server. So in that case, you need one OTP. On the simulation, you can create as many OTP. In production also, you can create as many OTP you want. That doesn't matter. So once you get the OTP, you need to enter it here. On this, there is an OTP tab on Zatca settings. I'll come there. Now, after that, once you get the OTP, you need to create a CSR file. It's actually not before. It can be. I have a sample one here. So your company details, your tax ID, your organization name, and the invoice type, location, and this type of details should be there in the CSR configuration file. That configuration file we will take into Zatca setting page, and we will process that. Then that's CSR configuration file. Then you have to create a private key. That when I say you have to, we are doing it. It will be automatically done from our Zatca setting page. You don't need to create it. It will be done. But every time that you are processing an OTP, you are getting an OTP and you are clicking this button to create a CSR, it will create a new private key. That's how you are maintaining the security of the transaction. So this is that is the private key. Then you need to create a compliance token. This compliance token is basically I'll explain that, but as a concept, you need to make sure that your system is ready. So if you want system ready, you need to send all the sample invoices to Zatca. For that, you need a compliance token just for sending the sample invoices. Once you get this compliance token, you will do actual compliance testing. Then once you do the compliance testing, you will get the production token. You will create a production token. Once you get the production token, you will do reporting or clearance of your invoice. The difference between reporting and clearance is reporting is actually reporting is for B2C. B2C is basically business to customer. Clearance is for B2B. That is business to business. So here the difference is, the customers generally don't have, this tax ID and all. You just selling them, but business to business means the other business also has tax ID and everything with the Zatca registered and all. So when you are here, you just report it to Zatca saying that you just made an invoice for a customer and this is the amount and this is the tax amount. You just report that. Or here on the clearance, you send it to Zatca, and Zatca will say, okay, I got it, and this is the QR code for that. Actually, for reporting, we are creating QR code, but clearance, Zatca will send you a QR code that anyone can verify with if you have that Zatca VAT app on your mobile phone. Zatca, you can download from iPhone or Android. You can get Zatca VAT app, and you can verify that it's actually cleared from Zatca. And the reporting, we are generating a QR code ourselves. It's not cleared by Zatca, but it's just a reporting. Clearance is like that. So on the invoices, you need to print. For clearance invoices, you will print the QR code Zatca sent you. This one for reporting, you will just print what you have created. So these are the steps. So any QR code can be verified by the app that you can download from Zatca. Zatca VAT app for Android. Let me try to get it. So there is on Android or iPhone, you can get it, Zatca application. I just wanted to verify that, but anyway, you will get it, and you will do that. So now let's go to our ERPNext. Okay, so this is our module. So you will go to Zatca settings. This is the one. So basically, you will enable Zatca invoicing. This is, of course, if you don't want to send invoices, you just untick it and send invoice in the background. That means when you are submitting, when you are clicking a button or something, so it will wait for some time. Sometimes means 3-4 seconds to get a response from Zatca. So that time, if you don't want to wait and it should be all done on the back end, then you need to tick it. So it will be like sending a notification mail in the back end. It will send to Zatca, and the error log and success log, you will get it as a separate report. I'll show you that. And send invoice to Zatca live. There are 3 options: send in and batches. Actually, as I told you before, for the B2C, it's not live. You can send it within 24 hours. It's called reporting. So you can send it in a batches or something whenever the system is free or something. But on B2B, you need to get clearance. So there is no option. It has to be live. So there is an option here, live, that is applicable for B2C. For B2B anyway, it has to be live. And others on the B2C, it can be on batches. Okay. So once you get it, so you need to create CSR. I have already shown you that the file, that is CSR file. And here, once you click it here, this CSR we are keeping in a folder, the information on the sites folder. Once you click CSR, it will generate and attach a CSR file. This is a CSR file, and the private key will be inside the Ubuntu system, inside the sites folder. There will be a private key also will be generated. So this both will be generated here once you click it. Actually, for that, then you need to enter an OTP. That OTP that you are getting from the site, this site, you will get an OTP, and that OTP you need to enter it here. We need to enter it here, that OTP. Okay. So OTP you enter here. Some other parameters, the PIH also you need to enter before you actually starting a simulation or production. PIH means previous invoice hash. So the concept is every invoice will have something called hash. If you are technical, you know what is hash. Hash is every file has something called hash. That is, if any changes made on the hash, on the file, the hash will not match. So you will understand it's an original file or not. So there is something called hash. So if you are sending to Zatca, there is a hash. There will be a hash inside that XML, and Zatca will store that also. So you cannot change it after that. You cannot cancel the invoice, edit the invoice, or nothing if you already send it, because this hash will not match. And whenever you are sending a new invoice, there should be the previous invoice hash. The last hash of the last invoice should be send it along that. So if you check in the XML files, you will see there is a hash for this invoice, and there is a PIH that will be for the previous invoice. So both will be sent them, so they can cross check and verify this the next to which one. So, and for the first invoice, this hash will be for the first invoice. This hash will be base 62 of base 64 of 0. This is the first. For the first invoice, you must enter base 64 of 0, that you can find from internet, and then you will select. Then you will select this. What you are going to do. Because I told you before, there is a simulation portal. That simulation portal, you can do all the testing, like sending whatever invoice, thousands of invoice, repeat it. You can do anything here to prepare your company for the Zatca. So that's very important. That is, you can do it here. You can log in here and get the key for simulation, because this if you are generating OTP for simulation, you cannot use it for production. If you are generating OTP for production, you cannot use it for simulation. It has to be same. Then this is, you will select, normally you will select simulation first. Sandbox you don't need to use, because it's not exactly like production, so you don't need to use simulation. You will use so you don't need to use sandbox, you will use simulation. Then once you've done everything, you will go to the production, and there are URLs. These URLs you don't need to change anytime, but whenever Zatca says that there is a change in the URL, they are putting up new servers in Dammam, they are putting in new servers in Jeddah or somewhere, they will say, okay, you change the URL. At that time you can change this URL. And this is for sandbox, you hardly use it. This for simulation, and only at the end is there is change. And on the production, it's /core. So you will enter here, and you will select it. Then after that, you can see a button here. This is generate compliance CSID. So this is, I explained in the beginning that what is the compliance token. I mean, the compliance token is for whether it's production or simulation or wherever, you must make sure, Zatca must make sure that your system is ready to send it. So first, to check the readiness, you need to say, okay, this is compliance CSID. So you click on this button. I'm clicking. So once you click on this button, you will get a compliance CSID. This is compliance CSID. You can see a long string here. This is compliance CSID. This you will use. This is the first step. The first token you are generating is CSID. After you create the CSR. Okay, this step by step. This page is we done it like you do one by one until you reach the bottom. Okay, so it's like that. And there is something called compliance request ID. So when you are generating this, you will get both. When you are generating compliance CSID, you will get basic CSID and you will get compliance CSID. This both you will get. And once you get that, you need to go here and check a validation test. Zatca compliance check. This you need to do. Otherwise, they will not give you a production CSID. You need a production CSID to send your invoices, report your invoices, clear the invoices and all. You need a production CSID. So to get the production CSID, you have to check the compliance and you need to get an approval. That is a simplified, you need to do for all of it. You cannot just do one and leave it. You need to have a simplified invoice test first. Okay, I'll tell you what is simplified invoice and what is standard invoice. Simplified invoice, okay. Simplified invoice is actually the invoice that you are sending to B2C, business to customer. You are the business and the customer. And I told you it is reporting. But it's not clearance. So simplified invoice is for B2C and it's reporting. You don't ask for clearance for a simplified invoice. It is for standard. So I will tell you now standard invoice. Standard, okay. Standard invoice is, first it is for B2B. It's for a big business. You have to send it same time, live, no excuse. That is for clearance. Okay. So this clearance invoice has to be live, and once you send it, the standard invoice for clearance, Zatca will acknowledge it. They will send you one QR code. That QR code you have to print on your invoice that you are giving to the customer. Then they can scan it and they can make sure that this is Zatca approved invoice. So this one is simplified and one is, so there are, you can see 6 here. First one is simplified invoice. I told you what is that. That is for business to customer. That is used for reporting and it need not be live. You can submit within 24 hours. And a standard invoice is a business to business. It has to be live. You have to send it immediately for clearance. And once they cleared, Zatca will send you a QR code. That QR code has to be printed on invoice, and it has to be live, not in batches, immediately. And credit note, of course, the accountants will explain you. But this is basically when there is a sales return, you do or credit note. But again, if it's for the business to customer B2C, it's simplified, and the standard is credit note. And simplified debit note and standard debit note, most of the companies don't use this, but what I can tell you, it is for use send an invoice, then later you give some discount or something, then you want to send a debit note to him, something like that. This is an accounting thing, so they will explain you, but it's just opposite to credit note. They are not sending it back, you are giving them some money, something like that, some adjustment on debit note. So all of this has to be tested. So how you test it? You need to give, in your system you will have many sales invoices. In your system you will have many sales invoices. Any of this invoice, you give the number there. Why? Because every invoice has to be pass this. I mean, every invoice has to pass the test. So it doesn't matter which invoice number you are giving, every invoice has to pass the test. So you give a sample invoice, any invoice you create, and then put it here, then select it and send check compliance. So once you are checking the compliance, Zatca will send you a message that this is either like it will give you simplified invoice or something. I'll just check compliance. So once you check the compliance, you will get the message Zatca is valid and pass. They will send it to you, the message Zatca is valid and pass. There is certificate error because I am not using the right certificate. So there should be no errors, and it will say reported, and the clearance status, it will say the clearance status and all. So you will do it for you will do it for all. I mean, you cannot just do one and finish that. You need to do it for standard, simplified debit note, credit note, etc. So you will do it for one by one. Let's say I do it for simplified invoice, then I will do it for standard invoice, then I will do credit note. I'll just do it for credit note. Let's see what I am getting. So give you a reply, but for each one you need to make a save and then check compliance. Okay, you can see the compliance. It says pass and it's reported. Okay, if it's clearance, I'll try one clearance. I'll try one clearance here. That is standard invoice. I will do a standard invoice here. Let's see. Check compliance. So it should show clearance. You see it's cleared. It's showing it's cleared, right? So this is our original Zatca message that we are running on simulation. So it is like Zatca valid and Zatca space. It's a pass and it shows it's cleared. So you need to clear. You need to clear all of it: simplified, standard, simplified credit note, debit note, and all. Once you did all of that, you will run this button. That is create production CSID. Once you click on this production, you will get basic. I mean, this is all for the production. You will get it. You will get a long code. Okay, so this will be used. This is valid for maybe. There is no the validity of that. You will get it here once you open that, but it is 2 years, 3 years. It will be valid, so you can keep submitting it. So it will be attached here, that the CSR will be attached here, and this compliance CSID is a one-time use. Once you just if you haven't done this compliance check and you try to generate production CSID, it will throw an error saying that it's your compliance is not tested or not approved. So it will give you that type of message, and then so this attachment will be there, or everything will be there. Then on the Zatca settings, something I missed maybe. So there are some options that what you need to attach with the invoice. The XML file. XML is actually the file you are sending to Zatca for reporting, or Zatca sending to you for clearance, or attach XML with QR code, attach QR code doc type, or status or something. So I will just put it here. One sales invoice, and so here for I'll just create one duplicate because I have duplicate, and I'll just put it. So now when I'm saving, nothing. So when I'm submitting, you can see when I'm submitting, it will automatically send it to Zatca. Okay, when I'm submitting, it will automatically send it to Zatca. I'll show you now. But there is a configuration that you can change it. We have put a button here, so you don't need to do it at the time of submit. You can do it anytime. But it's better to be submit because nobody should change the invoice after you are sending it to. It's to become legally compliant. It's illegal that you change something. So it's better to be with submit. But it's okay if you are deciding that to put it on a separate button like this, submit to Zatca, we can do that. It's there in the settings. So I'm putting it into Zatca. It's simulation portal, so I can put it as many times I want. But if production, I cannot do this testing, so I'm just doing it. So see here, this is the Zatca. Today Zatca is very quick. Sometimes it will take up to 10 seconds or something. So today I'm getting it very fast. So it will say it's a success, and there's a status code. It's 200. 200 is always success, as you know. It's an HTTP code. Now then it will say it's pass, and it says it's cleared. I'll show you why it's cleared, because it's a B2B customer, and it will send you one base 64 of the QR code and everything. We will decode it and we put it here. So here you can see the QR code here. You can see the QR code here. So this is Zatca sent it to you. So if you click it, this is the QR code, and on the printing you need to print it on the invoice. Okay, so this is cleared. You saw the message that's cleared. So why it's cleared? Because I will just show it here. This customer is actually, we put a separate field for customer database. You can see it here. So if it's a B2C customer, you need to tick it. Okay, so it will be reported. I told you B2C, it is reported. B2B is cleared. So if I put it here B2C, and then I will do another invoicing. Okay, I will take another invoice, same invoice, but I change this customer to it's a proxy customer. I change this customer to B2C, so it should be reported, so not cleared like before I show you. So I'll just duplicate this invoice and I'll put it here. Then okay. Now if I submit it, you can see you are getting a message called reported from Zatca. So it takes 3-4 seconds, sometimes 6 seconds. Okay, you can see it here, success, and status code is 200, and you can see here pass, and you can see it here reported. This is the most important thing. If you are B2C, if your customer is B2C, I will show you once again that's how we are making it B2C or B2B on the customer. So it should be reported, and so this is the customer. So here is the field that we are keeping it for. So depending on this field, it will be either sent it to Zatca like reported or cleared. Now, once you've done that, you have a success log, Zatca success log. So here we are keeping all the replies from Zatca with all the details and the UID, pin code and everything. You Zatca response we are keeping here. So for the reporting, it will be long. So here you can see for the Zatca response and this one, all the details that Zatca sent you, we are keeping it here in case of any, for example, if it's not attached or something, you can take it from here. So this is, if you decode this with the base 64 decoder, you will get an XML and the QR code, everything. So we are keeping a Zatca success log, and if any error comes, it will be, I mean, there is no error now, but it will be reported here, and there is a notification that we created that it will send a notification to the accountant or somebody that there is a failure in Zatca submission. So you will not have any compliances issue. That's one thing. And what else? I think we have covered most of the things for this. So if you need, I'm just looking into. Okay, so if there is something like, some tax issues, like, some special field that you have customized here, you have customized some field, or you need some special tax that you are doing it on the tax surcharges, there are retention, there are something like that. Maybe we need to make some XML, some adjustment or something. But generally, this module will be perfect for any company in Saudi Arabia as of now. And for any support, as you always do, you can contact us, support@erpgulf.com. So our any of our agents there, so we can just implement it here. It's a ready module. So thanks for joining us. It will be a pleasure that having this session. Thank you very much.